Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issue number 2 from Mirage Comics. So yeah, this is the second issue of the Mirage Comics series, second overall issue of Turtles. For anyone who hasn't seen the first videos, I plan on going through every single Mirage Comics Volume 1 and doing a review on those. I believe there's like 62, 63 issues. So yeah, I plan on going through all of them. And I will be going through the black and white. I will be using like pages from the colored versions for the thumbnails and stuff like that, just because it's more eye-catching. But I have been reading the black and white interiors, and those are the ones I'm going to be reviewing, because I figure if I'm going to review the original series, I gotta review it as it was originally intended. So for issue 2, we get our first appearance of April O'Neil, as well as our first appearance of Baxter. So yeah, we start off with the Turtles just kind of hanging out in their home in the sewers, doing their thing. Donatello messing around with, you know, a computer system or of some kind. Leo reading a book, Splinter watching TV, and then Raph and Michelangelo fighting each other, sparring each other, I should say. I will say that the colored version makes things a lot easier on the eyes as opposed to the original black and white. I mean, I can still like tell what's going on and stuff like that. It's just, it requires more attention, while the colored version it's more easier. Like you can differentiate. I can never say that word for the life of me. Differentiate between objects and people and all that stuff. I just wanted to kind of point that out. I might get some hate for this, but I will say if you plan on getting the original comics, get the colored version. And I know people like, no, you gotta go pure. You gotta go with the original black and white. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the black and white. I'll just say that it's easier to read the colored version. It's easier on the eyes and stuff like that. But yeah, so they're doing their thing when they see on the news Dr. Baxter Stockman, and in this version he's black. The only reason I bring that up is just because in the comic, not the comic, in the cartoon, the original cartoon, they actually race swapped him. He was actually a white guy, but in the original he's black, and I believe they changed it back for some of the later series. Was it the CGI Nickelodeon one, or was it the cartoon 2003 version where they made him look more like his original counterpart? I don't remember. But yeah, Dr. Baxter, he's created the Mouser, and the Mouser was to take care of the rodent problem. Basically, it's this little machine that can eat through steel and concrete, and it goes around and it tracks down rats and mice, and then it eats them. And then once it's collected 5 rats, it will go back to a designated area where it'll get rid of the body parts, I guess. And we just get like a scene where this thing brutally eats a rat, and there's like blood dripping everywhere. So yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, the original was pretty gritty and violent. I still stay with the, as far as I've read, I still think that the Urban Legends series, which was originally supposed to be Volume 3, is a lot more darker and violent and gorier. But the original is I'll say less gory and just more gritty and violent. So yeah, if you're like trying to pick up comics for, you know, for a child, maybe wait until they're a bit older before you get the original Turtles comics. I mean, so far from what I've read, there's nothing too bad, but I mean, you do have like body parts being chopped off and stuff like that. So maybe stick to the Archie Comics version, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Adventures, for the meantime. So yeah, we were introduced to Baxter, and he talks about the rat problem and all that stuff and his Mousers. And then we cut to April O'Neil. And April O'Neil is not a reporter like she is more popular known as, thanks to the cartoons. She is his assistant. She does still wear the jumper, the jumpsuit. Only in the colored version, it's I believe it's blue. It's not yellow. And April O'Neil is also not a white-skinned, red-headed woman. She's brown-haired, and she's more tanned. So I want to say she's probably like a Hispanic nationality. Of course, based off the black and white, you can't really figure that out. But this is going off of the colored version. So anyway, she's talking to Baxter, and she's reading the newspaper when she realizes that she's talking to him about how there's been reports about like all these bank heists and a lot of money being stolen and stuff, and no one can figure out how people were able to get into the vaults because this is like a bunch of concrete and steel. And they realize that there's like small holes fit for, or like basically the size of a child. And Baxter decides to show April something, so he takes her into the elevator and he slides in his card and takes her to a secret room that only he can access, where he shows off all the Mausers and basically tells her that he's the one that's been robbing all the banks. He's the one he's been using his Mausers to go and break into vaults and steal money, and basically he's made over 900,000 so far, which is kind of funny because you would think if you're breaking into multiple banks, you'd make more than just 900,000. April's kind of like, why are you doing that when your Mausers, as they were originally intended, is going to make you millions? And he basically just says that because it's fun. Like, why not? Why wouldn't I do it? It's fun. Like, I can use my Mausers to pretty much conquer the city. This scene is kind of funny just for how open he is about all his evilness. You would think like, hey, like if I was using my inventions to go around and steal a bunch of things, I wouldn't be sharing it with my assistant, especially if it's an assistant that seems to be kind of a goody two shoes. He's just really open up about it. I think it probably would have been better if she stumbled across it by accident and then confronted him about it. That would have made more sense rather than him just openly admitting, yeah, I've been using the Mausers to rob banks. What are you gonna do about it? I guess he's very narcissistic, which I mean that is part of his character. So, but yeah, that part was just kind of funny to me, anyways. So yeah, April O'Neil tries to rush out, but he traps her in the elevator and he pulls a switch and the trap door opens and she falls into the sewers, which again is kind of. At first I was like, dude, why don't you just like kill her? And then we find out it's because he wants to send the Mausers after her and then watch as they eat her. Yeah, this is a pretty sick dude. So he sends out the Mausers and he's contemplating how many. So he sends out just a few and gives them her data so that they can track her down and viciously attack her and kill her and eat her. And of course, as she's being attacked, the turtles arrive and save the day. And she passes out when she sees them. And then she wakes up and Splinter tells, the story. And there's like a little message, like if you want to find the origins, read the first issue. And then as she's asking, like, she wakes up and she's like, oh, that's all kind of crazy and stuff like that. What are you guys going to like do now? Like now that avenged your master and defeated, Shredder, like what's there to do? And right before Splinter can answer, they see the news where Baxter, his face is hidden in the shadow, but it's obviously him, is talking about how he's going to be extorting billions of dollars from all these major businesses in New York City. And if they don't pay him, then he will destroy the building. He will collapse it. He doesn't say how, he just says he'll do it. And there's a reporter out in front of one of the buildings, and time passes, and it's past the time that Baxter said he would demolish the building if he doesn't get his money. And eventually the building collapses, and April is like upset. She's like, he has to be stopped. So she decides that she is going to lead the turtles back to his secret underground lair so that they can stop Baxter. And they arrive, and they're able to stop Baxter, but right before they can like knock him out or whatever, he hits a switch, releasing a bunch of the Mausers, as well as locking them in the building and setting off a self-destruct sequence. So I guess he's suicidal too, because you would think like, hey, just release the Mausers. Well, I guess he can't really have the Mausers just attack the turtles because he doesn't have any data on the turtles. So, which is another thing that's kind of weird, because the Mausers have to be programmed to attack something. So basically, as Donatello is trying to stop the self-destruct, they realize that Mausers are trying to come in from the area that the turtles were able to sneak in. Like the turtles came in through the sewers, so the Mausers are in the sewers and they're on their way. And so the turtles decide to set up a bunch of C4 that they found in Baxter's room to blow the sewers and kind of collapse the tunnel so that the Mousers can't get to them. So the thing is that, so yeah, this is just it's kind of weird, because the thing is that the Mousers attacked rodents, because that's what they were programmed to do. They attacked April because Baxter programmed them after he dumped her into the sewers. There's literally like a page explaining all this where he's like programming like her scent, her voice, her body type, and all that stuff into the Mousers so that they can go after her. So the Mousers shouldn't be attacking the turtles. They should just be trying to get into the building so that they can attack April. But we see the turtles fighting off the Mousers as they're attacking them. So that's just kind of weird. That doesn't make much sense to me. The turtles should be fine. Maybe that's just like a plot hole that they missed. Yeah, so Mousers are attacking the turtles. Meanwhile, Donatello's not getting anywhere when it comes to stopping the self-destruct. He basically says, like, it'll take days to also rewrite the virus to stop the Mousers, which they don't have. But he realizes that the Mousers are controlled by radio. That's what April tells them. Like, there's basically the computer instructions are beamed to each unit radio receiver. So Donatello realizes, well, if we can get rid of the power, if we shut down the power, it'll shut down the computers. And if it shuts down the computers, there's nothing to transmit to the Mousers, and the Mousers will stop. So just as the Mousers break through into the building and they're surrounding the turtles, they're able to shut down all the power, and it basically ends with them in the darkness saying, well, I guess it worked. And that's how it ends. So yeah, I enjoyed the issue. It did kind of end kind of abruptly. Like, it was just, oh, I guess it worked, and they're just sitting in the dark. It is kind of funny, though, that that's how it ends. Again, the artwork is kind of rough at times. Not like the style. I mean, the style there is a unique style that some people might not enjoy. I do like it, though. But more of just because of the fact it's black and white. And yeah, so you get like just a lot of like shading and stuff, and things kind of blend in together and stuff. Again, this is kind of where I wished it was in color, which, I mean, there is a colored version, obviously. I mentioned that earlier in the video. So yeah, there are just times where sometimes it can be a little bit hard to make out. And this is coming from someone who reads a crap ton of manga, so I am not opposed to black and white stories and panels and things like that. It's just because of the way manga is drawn in like a more simplistic, it's easier to make things out, whereas comics have a lot more detail and a lot more shading. So when it's done in black and white, things kind of tend to blend in more together, which can make things harder to see. So, I mean, it's not like I had like a lot of trouble reading this, but I just wanted to point it out, which is why, again, I know people might hate me for saying it, but I do prefer the colored version just because it's just easier to read and stuff like that. Story is good. I mean, I liked it. It was kind of funny at times, just, how Saturday morning cartoonish Baxter was. Like, it's just, oh, I'm just going to be evil for the sake of evil, and I'm just going to tell everyone my evil plans. I mean, if I was him, I wouldn't have told April. I would have, like, waited until she discovered my evil plans before doing something about it. I would have probably just killed her right away. Again, this is like assuming that I was evil. And then after I had hit the self-destruct, I wouldn't have told the turtles about it, because then they wouldn't have been able to plan to stop me. Like, they couldn't come up with a plan to stop the Mousers and stuff like that if they didn't know what I just did. But other than that, yeah, thought it was good. I mean, I'm enjoying it, this series so far. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me what you guys think, and I hope to see you guys next time. Later. So what'd you guys think of that video? I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe, hit that bell for a notification, leave a like if you enjoyed the video. And if you didn't enjoy the video, thank you for watching it this far, and I hope the next video is more to your liking. Feel free to check out the playlist that you guys see, and I hope to see you guys next time. Later.